Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68. Today is February the 19th, Wednesday, and this is going to be one of my biggest comic book hauls that I've done in a long time. This comic book haul is going to feature books from Marvel Comics, DC Comics. I have some independent comics too. So we're going to get into this haul in just a moment, but before we do, I just want to say that this video is intended for adults only. And also thank you to my subscribers. Please can help me to continue to grow as I'm trying to get to that 200 mark. And like, share, subscribe, tap the bell so you can get more videos like this as I post them immediately. Well, we're going to start off with DC Comics. The first book that you see in front of you is the DC Previews. And this features the Joker on the cover. This can actually be a a video all of its own. And it features, as I just mentioned, and as you see, the Joker, the 80th anniversary 100-page super spectacular. It's supposed to be celebrating the 80th anniversary of one of the most nefarious, one of the most dangerous, one of the most hilarious, one of the most commonly known villains between all of the comic book rivals. Between Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, the Joker. And of course, you know, the movie was out earlier this, was it last year, with Joaquin Phoenix, who did a spectacular job in the Joker and won an Academy Award for the role. This, of course, has nothing necessarily to do with that character. There are many spin-offs and versions of the Joker written by various writers throughout the course of history. But this is going to be celebrating the 80th anniversary of that character. Can't wait to read that. And again, I might be able to do a video on this particular book alone. Okay. Next up, we have his nemesis, Batman, from the Dollar Comics, DC Dollar Comics, Mark of Cain #1. And this is from the DC Dollar Comics line. Issue number 567. I'm liking that cover there. Okay. After that, also from the DC Comics line, we have Green Lantern Rebirth. One of my favorite characters, absolutely, in the DC line. And the Green Lantern, of course, can have its own saga without any of the members of the Justice League. I also want to say, too, that these books are the books I've been talking about that have been missing, that I've been waiting for a while to get, but a lot of my books have not shown up in my pull lists. So this actually is still not going to be a complete haul of all the books that came out. It's not really featuring any books I think that came out today. These are books that came out previously, and I'm going to continue this haul into the weekend, as well as books from Black History Month. But yeah, so the Dollar Comics Green Lantern Rebirth, and that is an absolutely astonishing cover there. And then we have, I think this one did come out. I think this one came out today. I'm not for sure. The DC 100-page Flash, DC 100-page Flash Giant. Which features 5 action-packed stories of one of the fastest men alive, the Flash, Wally West. And he has actually been under several other names, too, throughout the DC history. I don't know all of them, because, again, I'm mainly a Marvel man. But this is a very cool book to have. And after that, let's just set these down. I have a variant cover of, what is this, the Harleen book. This is book number 1. This is a variant cover of that character. And of course, we know the Harley Quinn movie is out. I love that cover. This is the variant of number 1 I picked up last week sometime. And here is the regular version. Sorry about that. And here's the regular version here. So we have 2 different versions of Harley Quinn. Well, this is book number 3. I'm sorry. This is a variant of book number 1, which I do have, which features the Riddler, Crocodile, Killer Croc, the Riddler, and Poison Ivy on the cover. That artwork is phenomenal. And then we have, I do believe that this came out last week as well, the Joker Harley story, written by Kami Garcia, Michael Siwan, Jason Bador, and Annette Kwok are contributors to this particular story, and that looks like a very sinister and insane Joker from the Black Label series. Okay, and that's pretty much it, what we have from the DC books. All right, so we're going to move that to the side, or this lot to the side. We're going to get to lot number 2, which features our Marvel books, the Marvel books, and another popular character, but this, of course, in the Marvel line. This is the facsimile version of Wolverine, and I think this is written by Chris Claremont, I believe. And the Wolverine looks like he's beckoning someone forward to get a taste of that animanium there. Love that cover. This, of course, is a throwback issue and reprint. That's why it's called a facsimile. And after that, we have from the Marvel True Believers line, Dollar Comics, Wolverine. And it looks like, I don't know, I'm not sure who this is he's attacking. That looks like it might be Lady Deathstrike because of the claws, the long claws there, but I'm not for sure. I've never read this book before, but this looks like a very exciting issue to read. And this leads up into the recent stories that will be written based on Wolverine by Benjamin Percy, who's also writing some of the Dawn of X books. I think the Marauders is who he was. The other X-Men book that he's writing or contributing to, and this has other contributors to the story: Adam Kubert and Victor. I don't want to slaughter this name. Bogdanovic. All right. Yep. So very nice cover there. And there's actually a short box that's supposed to have come out. I think this week it came out. Which features this artwork on the short box, but I don't know if it came out, and I didn't see it when I went into comic book shops, and I went into 2 of my favorite comic book shops today. All right, and I was also able to get by the variant cover by, I think this is by Chip Zdarsky, and this is the cover which features the claws, the ripped out cover of the animanium claws on it. Very nice to have this variant. There were several variants of Wolverine number 1, but this is one I definitely had to have. Very limited copies of these too, so get them while they last. This is an expensive book, by the way. It's like $7.99 per copy, so if you're interested in getting it. I know a lot of comic book fans complain about the cost of comic books. And then here we have X-Men number 6, written by Jonathan Hickman himself. I haven't read it yet, but I'm hearing great stories about it. Now, more of our Dawn of X books. This is X-Force with Domino on the cover, X-Force number 7. And again, these books some of these books have already been out previously. You may have seen in other hauls. This is written by Benjamin Percy, the writer for Wolverine, which I just mentioned. And some very, very horrific things happen to Domino in these stories, man. Almost brought me to tears. Domino is a lovely woman, but I won't reveal what happens to her. That actually kind of changes that, unfortunately. Meaning the aesthetics of her beauty. Excalibur number 7, written by Tini Howard. And this is a kind of a slow burn story, but, you know, cool to have. And surprisingly, so far, I've been able to collect all of the single issues of the Dawn of X. And that's a miracle unto itself. Then we have issue number 7 of the Marauders, one of the most popular stories out of the Dawn of X books. I'm not really sure who that is. But yeah. Good story nonetheless. Jerry Duggan, Stefano Caselli, and Edgar Delgado. The team that are writing and drawing this book. And then we get into a surprising book that Marvel is venturing on, which is X-Men and Fantastic Four United. Richard Franklin, who is considered to be a mutant. And then we have, it looks like his mom, Sue Storm. That may be Rogue right there, or Kitty Pryde. No, that's Kitty Pryde. Storm, of course, and Professor X. It'll be interesting to see what this book is about. Chip Zdarsky is a contributing writer, or the writer of the story. The same guy who is writing the Wolverine story. No, I'm sorry. He wrote the variant, or did the variant cover, I believe, for the Wolverine. If I am wrong, correct me in the comments, please. And that's it for this haul. Or sorry, that's it for this lot. These are, again, all X-Men books right here. So let's move this to the side and get into lot number 3, which features Thor number 3. I have Thor number 2 and 3 together. Okay, and there we are. Thor number 3, written by, of course, Mr. Donny Cates. And this story is leading into something very big involving Thor. I enjoyed the first 2 issues extremely. They were very, very well done, as I'm sure this one will be too. Then we get into one of the characters from the Guardians of the Galaxy, Nebula number 1. Of course, we know Nebula is the daughter of Thanos and the sister to what is her name from the Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh my God, I forgot her name. Yeah, but this is Nebula number 1, and I'm not sure if this is going to be how this is going to be a short series, or how many books are going to be in this particular series. I think there'll be going to be at least about 5. That's a lovely cover there, written by Vita Ayala. All right. Next, we get into Morbius, the Living Vampire, number 4, and that is a nice cover there. Very dark, brooding. It reminds me of a TV show that used to come on in the 70s. Was it Dark Waters or something like that? That's what the cover kind of reminds me of anyway. Alright, and we're getting the Spider-Man Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 15, of course, written by Saladin Ahmed. Saladin Ahmed, the writer of this story, will be at one of the local comic book shops March the 4th, I believe it is, and I'm going to do another brief interview with him, God willing, get a chance to see the guy. Very cool guy he is, and this will be my 3rd time meeting him, if that actually falls into place. All right. And we get into our Hulk stories. Avengers Hulk number 1. This is part of the Gamerverse, and no idea what the story is about, but I'm loving that cover there. This is a one-shot, and here's a second one-shot from the Immortal Hulk series, Hulk Great Power number 1. All right. He has a spider suit on there too. I'm not sure what's going on with this story. That looks interesting though. And then we get into book number 2. This was hard to find. This had to be special ordered for me. A lot of stories weren't carrying it, but this is issue number 2 of Jessica Jones' Blind Spot. Glad to have it. And Book number 3 is on special order for me, so I'll be picking up that pretty soon and featuring in a future comic book haul. This, of course, is written by Kelly Thompson with artist Mattia de Eloise. And it has a parental guidance suggested advisory on the cover there. And then we get into this new Ant-Man limited series, which features, of course, Ant-Man and the Wasp on the cover. This is written by Zeb Wells. I'm not sure of the premises of the story, but it looks like members of AIM are on the cover here, and some type of sticky situation is taking place. This looks to be more slapstick more than anything, but I'm glad to have this in my collection. Haven't had an Ant-Man book in a while. All right. And then next up we get into another True Believers book. This is Machine Man, and this character has an interesting story or participating story in the new Iron Man 2020 books. And I read the first Iron Man 2020 book, and I have to say I was not very impressed by it. But nonetheless, it's being promoted very, very highly by Marvel. But this is a really nice cover here. I like that most definitely. And we have another True Believers story of the Iron Man, Tales of Suspense. The icy fingers of Jack Frost are reaching out for Iron Man. Interesting. And also features Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan, which we know, have been played very well by Gwyneth Paltrow, of course, and Jon Favreau in the actual Marvel Iron Man movies. And then here is the book I just mentioned, Iron Man 2020. This is issue number 2. I do like the covers, though. The covers have this almost like looks like they're glowing, like neon lights or something. The first one was like a pink or fuchsia type color, and this one has, of course, is green. Very nice. And this is written by Dan Slott. And that ends this particular lot. Okay. And the next lot we have, these are our independent comic books right here, and this is Valiant Comics fall preview of Bloodshot, and this is supposed to be a movie pretty soon starring Vin Diesel. And I don't know, I'm not really too interested in the Vin Diesel Bloodshot movie. It looks okay. And I don't really know much about the character, but it's a comic book movie, so of course I'm going to see it. But it's nothing that I would run to the theater to see. But we'll see once it comes out what it will actually do for audiences. Okay, and this is just a promotion. But this right here, and I'm not sure if I showed this in my last video. This is from Boom Studios. This is Red Mother, written by Jeremy Hahn and Denny Lukart. Book number 1. This book has been really promoted from another guy I watch his videos, Rockin' Robbie Billups on Comic Book Philosophers, or PCP Comics YouTube channel. But I read both books 1 and 2 of this story, and I must say I'm very impressed. Very impressive story with this creepy creature right here. It's more suspense than anything, but I love the suspense and how the story is written. It's very environmental, very visceral, and some creepy elements to it. I won't reveal the premises of the story. I just encourage you to buy it, definitely. And I have book number 3 as well, which just came out today. All right. And again, this is from Boom Studios. All right. Definitely recommend it. And that's it for the independent comics. But then I do actually have one more book from Marvel. And this came out today as well. This is by Tom Scioli. Or Scioli, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I hope I'm not butchering that. And this is not X-Men. This is many X-Men books. This is Fantastic Four Grand Design. And of course, Marvel has done several Grand Design books, and actually a lot of their Grand Design books were based on the X-Men. So I am correct in saying that, but this is not, of course, the X-Men. This is Fantastic Four. And it looks like we have, of course, Reed Richards, Ben Grimm as a Thing, and Johnny Storm. Where's Sue Storm? Oh, there she is. You can barely see that, but there's actually a shadow there of Sue Storm, because she's the Invisible Woman. Okay, this is a very expensive book here. This book is about $30 or so. And here's the back of the book. And that's a very creepy design there of Sue Storm. Reminds me of some movie I watched, some creepy movie I watched some time ago, where you could see the skeletons, or was the endoskeleton or exoskeleton? Exoskeleton, probably. Anyway, nice cover, front and back there. Fantastic Four Grand Design, and here's the spine of the book here. You can see that. Marvel Comics. I'm just waiting for the official announcement from the MCU about Marvel finally doing or announcing the Fantastic Four movie being released in theaters. So that's it. That's all for you for now. That's it. That's all for now, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this big super haul, comic book haul. I definitely have. I'm proud to have these books in my collection, very much so. Stay tuned for my next comic book haul, which will feature more books that came out today over the course of the next few days. And more books, as I said, in dedication to Black History Month. I hope you've enjoyed all of my videos I've done so far. I hope so. Please comment and subscribe. But commenting more than anything, I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what your thoughts are when I do these videos. Do you think I should do more or less, include certain things? Of course, my budget can only go so far. But let me know what you think. I mean, don't just like, but also comment. I listen and read the comments, all of them, and respond to them as well. So, okay? So that's it. That's all, y'all. I hope you have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time and place it is in the world for you. Peace, love, and hair grease.